Commissioners, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear God, please bless our meeting today. May our discussions be fruitful, our decisions wise, and our community strong. Amen.
Amen.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Bless you, by the way.
Thank you. Commissioner Beveridge.
Here.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Present.
Commissioner Regovich.
Here. This brings us to our first public portion. Anybody wishing to address the board on the agenda items only, please raise your hand. You have 3 minutes after stating your name and address for the record. Is there anybody that would wish to speak? None being seen. We will move on with resolutions. Madam Clerk.
In the Engineer's Office, resolution authorizing final approval and accepting a 3-year maintenance surety for Fairway Pines Subdivision Phase 5, Painesville Township.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
In the Utilities Department, resolution accepting a 3-year combined maintenance bond in the amount of $44,337.20 for sanitary sewers and water lines for Fairway Pines Phase 5 subdivision in Painesville Township, job number 23-20 and 23-21.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
In Job and Family Services Department, resolution approving Lake County Department of Job and Family Services vouchers, date of warrant March 7, 2025, in the amount of $80,706.20.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
In the Commissioner's Office, resolution appointing Captain Dan Bagnicki as the Lake County 911 Coordinator.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? I would just like to say that Dan already is our 911 coordinator. I don't know that he's ever been formally done up here, so this process just gives him a formal designation as the 911 coordinator. So, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Resolution accepting an emergency management performance grant in the amount of $111,287, effective through December 31st, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Resolution approving the final dedication plat for Fairway Pines Phase 5 subdivision in Painesville Township.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of a professional services agreement with Fidlar Technologies for the media conversion project for the Recorder's Office in the amount of $280,485.28.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? I see we have Ms. Lynch here. Would you like to speak on this?
Well, of course I would. Thank you, Commissioners. I just would like to say thank you very much. This has been a project in the making for 4.5 years. Since then, it has gone from $450,000 down to $280,000. And not only that, all of this $280,000 will be reimbursed by the state. So we're recycling the money, and it's all going to come back to Lake County. So I'd just like to say thank you for helping us modernize the Recorder Department. Thank you.
Thank you for beating him up. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing amendment number 2 for the design professional agreement between the Lake County Board of Commissioners and HOK for the Lake County Public Safety Center project in accordance with the contract approved April 7, 2022.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Jason?
Yes, Commissioner. The agreement in front of you is really I know it says amendment number 2, but this is kind of the third component of HOK services to the county. HOK was the criteria architect that we selected a couple years ago via the RFQ process, who went through the program, schematic design, detailed design, and ultimately did the handoff when we brought on the Gilbane K2M team as the design build team. But as part of the original scope and services, this particular contract will allow HOK to stay on board and work with the design build team on the construction phase of the project. This is included in the original budget. It's been planned on for some time, and we're just finally to that point as we enter the construction phase to execute this agreement with HOK for construction services.
Thank you. Anything further? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $1,178,042.80.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Resolution approving payment of bills to CT Consultants Incorporated as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $7,560.47.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Abstain.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $1,397,901.65.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Resolution increasing an appropriation for a non-general fund account.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Resolution transferring cash within various non-general fund accounts.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Beveridge.
Aye.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes. This brings us to departmental reports. Utilities.
Thank you, Commissioner. Over the next 3 months or so, we'll be presenting resolutions to the board to advertise for bids for projects for our capital improvement plan for 2025. We're looking to invest about $6 million in water and wastewater projects over the course of this year, so we look forward to that, and hopefully the bids come in well so we can do more projects and get more feed in for this year. Looking forward to it.
I hope there's lots of bidders.
Cross our fingers.
Job and Family Services.
No report today, thank you.
Thank you. County Administrator. Jason.
Yes, Commissioners. Just briefly, the next Commissioners meeting on March 6th, Joel and Zach will be presenting the 2025 General Fund Permanent Budget. Kudos to those gentlemen and their teams and all the electeds and department heads for working through the general fund portion. So that'll be on the docket for next Thursday morning. There's a copy of the budget from Zach near your guys' inboxes in the office. Secondly, just a brief update. If you cannot feel it, you can see it. The jail, they're putting in 561 aggregate piers as we speak. So I know the ground's vibrating over there in the Sheriff's Building and Mark's Building, but things are moving swimmingly at the jail footprint. Had our bi-weekly meeting yesterday. Things are going really well. Gilbane brought a new member to the team yesterday, called the Purchase Out gentleman. That's the fancy word. So he's going to start buying all the products. We've pre-ordered steel, we've pre-ordered our prefab cells from Georgia, but all the other things that one can imagine that will go inside this facility, we'll start to do the buyout here in the coming months. So still slated for a spring 2027 completion, summer-ish opening, if you will, when the sheriff gets all his folks over there. So far, so good.
Jason, the long lead items we talked about early on, is this the gentleman that would do that, or have we already done that?
We've done that. Generators were a long lead item from day one. Thanks to Paul back in the day for identifying 2 or 3 manufacturers that we prefer here. Those are taken care of. The cells, Gilbane brought 2 or 3 cell vendors in a few months ago to do early interviews. Gilbane, because they selected, but we sat in, selected Poly Jail. We've pre-ordered all those cells. Those were the 2 long lead items that we had, but so we're good to go there. I guess yesterday I'd also note the sheriff's team, and we'll submit this to the city. We selected the final materials the brick and the stone, et cetera, of the jail. I think we're extremely happy. We had some price variations as we went through the value engineering, and quite frankly, the brick and masonry numbers came in a little bit better than we thought. So we were able to stick with the original design, and I guess if you can picture the front of what the new building will look like, we had a larger stone as opposed to a standard brick stone that we kind of went back and forth on. The numbers came in well, so we'll be able to have the original design intent that the sheriff's team wanted. Those colors were selected yesterday. Yeah, Sheriff, am I missing anything?
Oh, lots.
I figured as much.
You're fine.
Good.
Exactly it.
I'm sure it'll look good. The sheriff has the
And the
a
chief
knack
and
for
I, it was
design.
really the chief. We got to the detail of picking out what the clock's going to look like at the peak.
Oh
I
man.
think we've completed that too. So I'm essentially a bystander at this point. The sheriff's team, he had 5 or 6 guys and gals over here yesterday. They're doing a hell of a job on getting through all these detail-oriented components of the building. So I'm happy to sit on the sidelines. Thank you.
I know 2027 can't get here fast enough, but with the parking and stuff we're going through, but I hope everyone is patient with that as construction continues. We see a lot of action over there, so it's good to see that. I drive by it every day, so it looks good. Madam Clerk.
Yes, I wanted to mention that the next regular commissioner meeting is Thursday, March 6th at 10 a.m. And also today, there is a workshop at 10:30 following this meeting.
Mr. Hackman, legal.
No reports, Commissioner.
Is there any old business to come before us today, gentlemen? Any new business? I would like to state that I have my new duds on today. I was able to help out Birthright last week as a model, even though I told them I had a face for radio. But it worked out real well. They had a very good attendance and made money for a great program. So I appreciate all the help they did, and I was able to participate. So Commissioner Beveridge was there and has one of the big prizes. So if you hit him up, you might go for was it a wine tasting with the weatherman or something?
I believe so.
Yes. So it was good times had by all but 400, about 400 people there. So it was a great event. Good to see our nonprofits succeed and do well. So okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the executive session for personnel collective bargaining. No business will be conducted after. We do have our workshop today, so I don't anticipate this will be too long. But as soon as that's done, we'll come back out, hopefully around 10:30 and do our workshop.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Beveridge,
Aye.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Regovich,
Aye.